In the session on tools, let me just say that through research expertise, through a lot of collaboration, BRE has a role in producing tools and standards and products for industry to use to create better projects and to deliver better outcomes. And I've been asked this morning just to talk about two of those, BREEAM and SQL, both sustainability rating tools in use for infrastructure projects, and to outline how they're operating, and particularly how SQL is operating since joining BRE, and to outline our plans to bring the two together. I also want to show a bit about how they both address and encourage carbon saving among the framework of other sustainability factors, and to talk about a couple of case studies in SQL. All of that in 10 minutes. 2013, we started thinking about infrastructure in BREEAM. We were encouraged to do so, and this slide lists some of the challenges that we looked at that time, challenges facing the industry across the whole range of sustainability. Clearly, reduced whole life cost, reducing resource use were key to this, and these are the ones that really have the key carbon benefits that we're talking about today. Quite a bit of research was undertaken, and the infrastructure aspects of the whole range of social, economic and environmental factors were taken together, and we see them listed here. And we're very aware of the difference between buildings and infrastructure projects in all of these respects. The aim was to develop a more science-based, outcome-focused, metric-driven set of criteria through which projects could assess their performance. We considered resilience to be a really key and important feature for infrastructure projects, for projects to be designed to operate through a whole range of threats, through extreme weather impacts, through security issues, to be able to adapt to future change through changes in demand, through population, through changes in technology that could be significant over the life of some of these very long-term projects. BREEAM infrastructure was completed early 2015, currently being piloted in 6 projects in the UK, with another 6 being discussed at the moment. SQL was the first sustainability rating scheme for civil engineering projects, and it's very much the established scheme in this area, operating since 2003. There are several others around the world that operate, Envision in America and Green Roads, ISCA in Australia, and they're broadly based also on SQL. It was clear that there was a strong industry preference for a single scheme to be there, not for BREEAM to compete with SQL, and that encouraged a really interesting discussion which led to a shared BRE-SQL ambition that bringing the two methodologies together could produce something rather special and could represent a step forward in sustainability rating for infrastructure projects, and to take SQL to the next version that it always intended to go to. So this work is in progress, and we hope to launch in 2018. And it's got strong support from industry, from ICE, and we will ensure that it does absolutely incorporate SQL's ongoing legacy. Our role at the moment is to promote and deliver SQL, which we are thoroughly enjoying, I have to say. The SQL is being operated now by the BRE infrastructure team with contracted support from some of the previous SQL operators. We're supporting and will continue to do support for new customers and for existing customers through to completion of their projects. And in addition, we're operating the BREEAM infrastructure pilot. And the purpose of that is to ensure that the methodology developed there operates well with all types of scale of project, and to use this learning in the combination with SQL into developing the next version where we bring together the best of both. SQL continues to grow, and the value of projects assessed and registered in the last year is the highest that it has ever been. As the well-established scheme, it has a strong following and now has 644 projects registered since inception. And this includes projects of all type, of all scale, and includes projects in 5 countries around the world. And there are several other countries interested also in adopting SQL as a way forward for their sustainability rating. And some of the interesting new projects that we've recently seen joining SQL are listed here, and you can get an idea of the sort of projects that we are looking at. Many projects value SQL and BREEAM at several levels, and this blue pyramid demonstrates some of the value proposition for it. Firstly, and at the bottom of the triangle, the opportunity to generate savings and improved use of resources. Here is the carbon agenda, where carbon saving is key. It also puts carbon saving into the wider context of the benefits and sustainability. SQL is often used as a framework to manage sustainability for projects to help balance all of those issues of sustainability impacts for their project. It provides an independent verification of what has been achieved to support PR and reputational issues and to help people demonstrate more widely what they've achieved. It gives the ability to benchmark projects and it gives a great team building opportunity as teams work with the scheme to develop their projects to deliver better outcomes and at the end to celebrate what has been done. And some of the projects here that we've been able to present certificates to in this last year, great opportunities to celebrate success. So how does these schemes encourage carbon saving? Well, they both encourage carbon saving in a big way and in particular seek for this to be addressed at the very earliest possible opportunity in a project. The earlier it is addressed, the greater the opportunities to save and the greater the magnitude of savings that can be achieved. BREEAM encourages an early whole life screening carbon footprint, or an LCA, to identify the opportunities for carbon reduction and then to set strategic objectives. In SQL, they look for strategic policies and targets to be set at the beginning. And in both of them, at the project implementation stage, they call for detailed carbon footprinting or an LCA to be undertaken, and the schemes reward the extent to which the recommendations from that process are actually implemented and delivered in the project. There's a focus on design, on construction, and on operational carbon. There's not a particularly strong body of consistent data on carbon across the range of projects, and therefore it's difficult for us to establish an absolute real baseline for setting targets against carbon. And because of this, BREEAM Infrastructure has approached it from a standpoint of collecting data from projects in an asset capacity format to build that setup of data so that future baselining can be based on reality. A couple of projects, case studies here. These are a little bit old. They're 2013 from the Outstanding Achievement Awards that SQL had in that year. I would have had newer ones, but unfortunately the OAA award presentations are in 2 weeks' time, and I don't want to suggest or otherwise whether these projects have won by including them in a talk today. But this is Blackfriars Bridge Station refurbishment, which won the Outstanding Achievement Award for Carbon and Energy in 2013. The whole Thameslink programme placed sustainability at its heart. It achieved a very high scoring SQL rating, and it addressed carbon saving in several ways. Significant investment by the project in solar PV on the roof canopy, really across the whole river, produced a generation capacity which helped support the National Network Rail Sustainable Design and Construction Strategy to restrict carbon emissions and to be rewarded in SQL for energy usage during operation. The result was that 6,000 square metres of PV was put there with a capacity of 1 megawatt of generation, which can power 50% of the station demand. There are a whole range of other carbon savings achieved in the project. During construction, redesigning the power supply to the site reduced the number of generators from 4 to 3, saving significantly. The use of the river really contributed to reducing carbon and other social benefits within London. The project considered SQL to have really helped develop that process and achieve good outcomes and set targets for other parts of the Thameslink programme. A lot's been said about the Olympic Park, where this was another high-scoring project in this area. And it really approached this in a whole range of areas. Site reclaimed materials for gabion baskets, PFA in cement replacement, replacing primary aggregates with secondary aggregates such as glass and sand, including recycled materials in pavements, temporary curbs made from recycled plastic, reusing existing structures and so on. And that delivered the sort of reductions in carbon that we can see on this slide. Overall, the project achieved 47% recycled content by value, 59% by weight of recycled aggregates against a target of 25%. A whole range of really impressive and improved performance against the targets that were originally set. I mean, sustainability was a clear target for this project, but SQL was the framework which helped them demand and deliver it. So just in conclusion, carbon reduction is a key to cost saving. It is encouraged and rewarded in the schemes as part of a balanced scorecard of social, economic and environmental factors needed to deliver the project. In addition, SQL and BREEAM have the added benefit of independent verification of what's been achieved against this framework, and this is used by projects to drive and influence performance. It helps create value, it helps manage risk, it helps design for the future and to allow benchmarking against other projects. Thank you very much indeed.